Hi everyone, it's Rose. It's been a while since I've posted any kind of update, video update that is, on YouTube or on my blog, so I thought I'd take a few minutes today to, bleh. Okay, try that again. Hi everyone, this is Rose. It's been a while since I've done any kind of video update to my blog or on YouTube, so I thought I'd take a few minutes today to write you and give you an update of what's been going on with my infusions, my Benlysta infusions. I took a few minutes and I have a whole list of things that I can talk about, but I'll try not to make it too long. Currently, right now, I'm between my 6th and 7th infusion, so I'm about 6 months into the Benlysta treatment. If you've been on my blog at all, and I'll put the address on the screen for you, but I go much more in depth into what's been going on right after my infusions, about halfway between infusions. So I hope that you get to check that out and you can leave some comments. And I have my email address on there too. So I've kind of put my list under pros and cons. Because it kind of seems to be how life is. Good one day, bad the next day. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with the cons, the kind of the things that have been happening with the infusions that aren't so great. And then we'll go into some more positive things. I did want to mention that probably everybody getting Benlysta could say the same thing, that except for maybe ones that have been on it a lot longer than I have been. It seems like every month is different. Every infusion is different. I'm having something that I'm experiencing between infusions that I didn't the previous infusions, and I can write about that. So I'm hoping that at some point down the road, if I'm fortunate enough to continue with the Benlysta infusion, that I'll be able to level out on some of these so that things will start to feel better on a more consistent basis and not so many up and down roller coaster side effects. So on my list, I've made things, I'm wearing my gloves, my rain out's really bad today, so my limbs are very cold. But on the list, this is in no particular order of importance or one worse than the other. It's just I started making a note and thought I'd share it with you. As you see, my hair's a bit longer. Now it has been growing pretty fast over the last couple months. During the winter, I have to double up on the vitamin D that I take because I get severely vitamin D deficient. It's pretty common with lupus patients because we can't get out in the sun and as much as other people can. And also it's winter time. We're just coming out of winter in the Northeast, so that's even worse. I don't even get to go out for daily walks like I'd like to. So it really helps with growing my hair very fast and very thick. However, I am losing my eyelashes. Whether that's a Benlysta thing or just the typical lupus, alopecia thing going on, I'm not really sure, but so it's my eyes look a little bit more hollow than they normally do because I don't have, no matter how much mascara, I just can't seem to fill that in. That's more of a vanity issue than anything, but the vertigo has not let up at all. I've been going through that for months. Normally my vertigo is something that comes and goes. I'll have it for a few weeks to a month or two, goes away for months, and it comes back. It's been pretty consistent since the fall, late fall. It's positional vertigo. In other words, it really affects me when I lay down, when I get back up again, regardless if it's a slow or fast movement. Moving from side to side while I'm laying down is something that really gets my head swimming. So the Benlysta hasn't done anything to help that at all. Now, I had that before, so it's not something that's caused by the Benlysta. But it's certainly not something that's easing up, and it's a pain. Even if I'm standing for too long, or closing my eyes and then opening them up while I'm standing, that triggers it. So I have been dealing with that. my GERDs, which is the esophageal reflux. It's actually like bile reflux that comes up into the esophagus, has been, it waxes and wanes, it comes, it goes. It doesn't seem to be triggered by certain foods, because I've really been trying to track that. But I just have, some days are really bad, and everything I eat, everything I drink aggravates it. Other days it doesn't. Normally, I mean, to the point I'm eating very light meals, small meals, very infrequent. That's also because I have the nausea with it as well. I used to always like to have a glass of wine with dinner, because it would help with the digestive process. Seriously, it would, and it would also help relax my muscles as well. But even that is very, very hard for me to tolerate, so it's very rare I can even get a glass of wine when I want to, but bummer. But anyway, so the nausea and the eating less, again, it comes, it goes. I tend to eat better in the middle of the night. I suffer from a lot of insomnia, so when I can eat and it sits well, for some reason, the middle of the night, which isn't very healthy, but then again, I eat very little during the day. So again, the insomnia. Now, I had insomnia before. That's not something that's from the Benlysta. It's just something that isn't being helped by the Benlysta right now. The headaches have, immediately following the infusion, the headaches are better, or I should say fewer. But as time goes by, they get worse and they get worse. So again, it's been hard to say in the Northeast with the wacky winter weather that we've had. I'm greatly affected by barometric changes, as so many people are. But my headaches tend to more often develop into very bad migraines rather than just annoying headaches. But that's something that I haven't really noticed a difference with the Benlysta. I did want to take this time to discuss a little bit of what happened at between my last infusion and this infusion. About 10 days prior to my infusion, I noticed that I was starting to go into a real downward spiral as far as my emotions, the brain fog that I was having. In my blog, I described it seemed like, now I'm 13 years post-menopause, but it was like going through menopause all over again. I'd get the hot flashes, the cold flashes, the headaches were really, really bad. The fog over me, was really, really bad. I couldn't concentrate on anything. The emotional roller coaster, it was like crying at the drop of a dime. I was just constantly in tears over the least little thing, very, very emotional. I did call my doctor's nurse, my rheumatologist nurse, and I asked her, because I kind of thought maybe this was something going on with my body being depleted of the Benlysta before my infusion, and she said it's very, very possible. A lot of their patients on Benlysta do experience a lot of more aggressive activity in their symptoms prior to their infusion. So I knew I wouldn't know until I had my infusion, but there was 10 days of really aggravated symptoms. So I did have my infusion about 10 days ago, and I noticed within 24 to 48 hours after the infusion, I felt entirely back to normal. Now, my normal as a lupus patient is not a normal, but the cloud lifted from my head. I could carry on a conversation much better. I was clearer in my thinking. I wasn't on this spiraling roller coaster of emotions, crying anymore. So I really believe that was something that went on because my body was being depleted of the Benlysta. Now, so I'll be more mindful next time if I start seeing these symptoms increase like that as I get closer to my infusion, which would be if it was like last month, it would be within the next 5 days or so. I would probably be able to surmise that it's my body just feeling the effects of the Benlysta being lower and lower in my body. But I would have to say I would really have to think about that for all future infusions. I hope it's something my body just gets used to, because when you think about it, that's a third of my month of living in almost a hell. I know it's not. I know it's probably a poor analogy, but it is just an awful, awful experience. Any woman going through menopause would know what I'm talking about, and add on top of that all the lupus symptoms and the pain levels being so much more magnified. I'm hoping that it's something that I don't see every single month as I'm approaching my infusions. I'd like to talk a little bit now about some of the pros in it that I've noticed. I wish I could say there were as many as there are cons, but I'll take every little bit of good that I can on these. I have noticed, particularly right after my infusions, I am able to lower my pain medication. Now I'm on 2 types of pain medication, 2 narcotics, so I'm talking about the Vicodin. During the day I have been able to lower that to half of what I had been taking, at least until the symptoms start getting worse and worse. But that's a good thing, because anytime a lupus patient can start backing off, titrating down on any of their medication, that's always a blessing, because we take such a large cocktail of medications just to function throughout the day. I'm also taking half of the amount of Klonopin that I take at night. At night I take Klonopin and morphine, one to help go to sleep and one to help control the pain during the night so I can sleep better. It's an extended release morphine. But the Klonopin, any of those, the narcotics, the Klonopin, are all in classifications that are very highly addictive medications. And for as long as I've been taking them, I've been real good at trying to keep that amount down, and always watching that I'm not bumping it up, and bumping it up. And I've been very good about, my doctor's been very pleased at how well that's been going. But so I'm taking half the amount of the Klonopin at night. The morphine at night, it's a pretty low dose, so I might try experimenting with like every other night with the morphine and see how I do with that. I mean, that is ultimately the goal with the Benlysta. Well, ultimately it would be to put you into remission, but ultimately they do want you to start, they won't know it's doing what it's supposed to be doing until you can see that you can start backing off some of your medication and still be at a functional level that the pain isn't any worse as you start lowering down on your medications. At least for me, I think lupus patients all on Benlysta experience different things that they'll be looking for, but for me, that's what it is. Now that the weather is getting nicer, I am doing walking and some light exercising. Not great distances of walking, and I do experience some cramping in my hips and my legs when I walk, but I am forcing myself to get out there to get some of the sunshine on the days that we do have some good sun, and to get some walking done. When the weather is too cold or rainy, I do try to get on the Wii and do some exercising, some light exercising there. My goal in exercising is to get to a point where I'm feeling consistently well enough day in and day out that I can join a gym. The gym I belonged to before that had a pool, a warm water pool, and they always had low impact exercise, water exercise classes. So I really am hoping to get back into that, because it does help in moving around. It's very, very important to get that exercise. The fatigue hasn't been as bad. When I first started with the infusions, especially the day after, the fatigue was really phenomenal. Now I do still have some on the days of the day of the infusion and the day after. I'm pretty washed out, but after that, I'm coming back much quicker with my energy levels. It's never 100%. I don't think it will ever be 100%, but I'm not experiencing the great amount of fatigue that I had before. So that's definitely a plus, because the less fatigue, the more that I can do. Now, this isn't physical, but it should be of interest to most people on Benlysta or thinking of going on Benlysta. My insurance, now I have 2 insurances, and my insurance has been paying every cent of the Benlysta infusions. That's really, God has really blessed me with that, and I'm so grateful. Now, January, I did have an infusion. Deductibles do hit in January. Mine has not gotten through the second insurance yet, so I don't know what I will owe, but there will be an amount I'll have to owe for January's infusion, but it will be manageable. But to me, I know that's not a physical aspect of the Benlysta, but the drug is extremely, extremely expensive. Now, I don't know about you, if you look through your EOB forms from your insurance company or what the hospital or infusion center is billing, the medication alone, just for the Benlysta, is $9,000 per infusion. $9,000, that's a lot of money. So generally, for each infusion, the cancer center where I get my infusions done is billing my insurances between $10,000 and $11,000 per month. So that's a great deal of money. Now, I know as time goes by, hopefully the manufacturers will back down on that amount, but that's a great deal of amount of money. And the reason why I bring that up is because insurances do want to know, as they're paying out this money, that it is having a positive effect. I just saw my doctor last month following my 5th infusion, and we reviewed all the symptoms. She was not pleased. She was hoping that I was doing better, and she has let me know that she's going to give it 3 to 4 more infusions, and I need to show a much more marked improvement on it. Otherwise, they're going to have to consider taking me off of it. I have very little control over that. I can only be very upfront and honest with her, and by her the physical exam going on and the blood work, whether it's doing any good or not. But the insurance companies want to know that, you know, with all that money they're paying out for that, that it is doing some amount of good. So that's about where I'm at for now. It's probably long enough, but I did want to bring you an update. It's just kind of, I'm holding it status. Every month it's different. If you read my blog, you'll see that from one month to another month, my symptoms are different, side effects are different, how well I'm doing and how long I'm doing well, it changes every month. I think most Benlysta patients will tell you the same thing too. So hopefully I'll get another video to you soon, but in the meantime I'll keep writing and I'll keep updating you too. So, and I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, and God bless you. Bye-bye.